What's up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. So Netflix released a new batch of their hit show Love is Blind. They released episodes 6 through 8. So let's get into a minor recap, my thoughts on the couples, and my predictions of what will be said at the altar. So let's start with Brett and Tiffany, since they seem to be the only truly stable couple this season. Brett and Tiffany seem to be truly into each other, and it's nice to see. I was rooting for them from the beginning. I was a little worried after Tiffany fell asleep on Brett in the pods. Yes, it's reasonable to be upset when you're spilling your heart out and someone snoozes out on you, but I was almost getting the sense that Brett was a little sensitive or unforgiving. Brett meets Tiffany's friends who love him and explain that Tiffany falls asleep on anybody. So I think that makes Brett feel a little better.
I felt like this person wants me to be my best version of myself. I just want to let you know, Tiffany, that I do love you.
Aww.
Seriously.
Oh my God. This couple seems to appreciate and respect one another and appear to be doing great. The biggest discrepancy they have so far is Brett leaving water on the bathroom floor after a shower. So my prediction for this couple is that they will both say yes at the altar. Marshall and Jackie is going to ruin this man. I really didn't understand Jackie and Marshall from the get-go, and when Jackie had that random meltdown about her family in previous episode, it was just confirmed for me. This girl needs therapy, and I don't say that as if it's a bad thing, but she really needs to talk to somebody about whatever is going on back home, and it doesn't need to be Marshall. Marshall seems to think that he can fix her, but that shouldn't be his job. He actually calls her a project.
So why the fuck are you still with?
I saw you as a project.
Jackie meets Marshall's sister in episode 7, and before the sister gets there, Jackie has another one of her moments. I don't know if Jackie has anxiety or what, but it's really hard to tell exactly what's wrong with her other than vague family issues or what triggered it, and basically tells Marshall to go away.
I'm really stressed out. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think I can do this, honestly. I'm really stressed out.
Stressed out about?
I'm really stressed out.
I can give you some time. I can walk them around the block or whatever. And
No, it's fine. We can just knock it out.
I would much rather you be in a comfortable headspace than put you in a position where you're...
I'm in a comfortable headspace right now. I think your energy is making me even more stressed out.
Okay. I'll go have a Coke and a smile.
Coke and a smile.
Yeah.
Do that.
Cool.
Baby, Marshall has the patience of a saint. I really feel like Jackie is using her family situation as a reason not to give this her all, because it has become very apparent that she does not respect this man. Now, the moment I was completely done with Jackie was when she told Marshall he needed to boss up or man up. Jackie is used to what we call struggle, love, and toxicity. Let's call a spade a spade. Marshall is too nice for her, and she knows this. Her idea of what makes a man is very warped. That's why she's constantly saying she's afraid she's going to hurt him, and I really don't want to see that happen. But we also have to hold Marshall accountable for his actions. He decided to take on this woman, and based on the conversation he has with Brett, he knows he can't be what she is looking for because he tells Brett that's just not who he is. My prediction for this couple? While I'm praying that he realizes his worth and says no, I really think Marshall will say yes to Jackie, while I think Jackie will say no to Marshall, using her family issues as an excuse when we know the real issue is he's just not what she wants. Paul and Micah. I have been struggling all season to, number 1, like Micah at all, and number 2, understand this couple and why they were together. I really wasn't feeling any chemistry between them prior to episode 6, but I think I might have been convinced. In episode 6, Micah confronts Irina about flirting with Paul. The way Micah handled Irina when confronting her about flirting with Paul had me.
I the big fool here that missed your red flag. I was literally your lifeline to all of these girls. Yeah. You had no one to talk to. Yeah. I stuck up for you. I always was like, that's my bitch.
I haven't seen Paul. Paul doesn't sound like he wants to see me or talk to me. No.
Now, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I really don't like Micah as a person. She's very catty, a mean girl, and manipulative. She was right next to Irina being ugly until Irina's ugliness started to affect her. But Irina was just wrong, and I really think she thought she could take Paul from Micah. All that being said, karma's a Now Micah knows how Chelsea felt when she was all in Kwame's face. I kind of wish she would have checked Paul a little more than she did, because Paul definitely knew Irina was flirting, and he was flirting back. That's why Irina was so confident that she could possibly take him from Micah. I think Paul's innocent good boy look makes us forget about that. But we saw you, Paul. I think Irina's flirting with Paul pushed Micah closer to him because Micah wants to be the HBIC at all times. Micah meets Paul's mom and they really seem to hit it off.
So nice to meet you.
Well, Paul, I've never seen you like this, so I'm like...
How so?
Like, just happy and in love.
Micah realizes that the reason Paul may be attracted to her is because she is so much like his mother. Anyway, I actually think this couple may work, for now, and I predict that they will both say yes at the altar. Zach and Irina. Zach and Irina decided to split at the end of episode 5, thank God. This woman was so rude to this man, no need to give her any more attention. Bring in Bliss. Episode 6 starts off with Zach and Bliss having dinner, and Zach is trying to convince Bliss to give him another chance after proposing to Irina over her. On one hand, I was kind of hoping Bliss would tell him to go to hell, because who wants to be a second choice? But on the other hand, I think Bliss is adorable and she really wants love, and I do think her and Zach work together somehow. She has the ability to look over Zach's awkwardness because I think she's just as awkward in some aspects. Bliss does decide to give Zach another chance, and they end up getting engaged and moving in together.
A blanket or something? Maybe you can ask them. What are you doing?
The only concern I have with this couple is that I don't know that Bliss will truly be able to get over being Zach's second choice. She mentions it quite a few times and tells Zach that her pride kept her from giving him a second chance immediately. I'm really torn on this one, but I feel like in the end, Zach will say yes, and Bliss will say no simply to get back at Zach, or because she's just not over being the second choice. Kwame, aka Alex, and Chelsea. This couple makes me want to vomit. Seriously. Every time they call each other babe, my eyes roll into another dimension. They're so awkward to me, and Kwame's laugh sounds like a politician. I like Chelsea, but I do think that she's more excited about the idea of having someone more so than she is about Kwame himself, and is eventually going to end up wanting Kwame to be something or someone he's not. I have the feeling that Kwame doesn't really like this woman as much as he's portraying. Now let me be clear before I continue, I have nothing against interracial relationships. You like what you like. But Kwame is what we call a self-hating black man. Let's be real. He says he almost introduced himself as Alex in the pod so no one would know he was black. That is sad, and all that tells me is that he wants to be accepted, particularly by the Caucasian community. And this Caucasian woman is head over heels for him, and he loves that and just wants to sit in it for a while. I think Kwame is trying to be who he thinks Chelsea will accept, but he made it clear that he wanted Micah, and I don't think that feeling has gone anywhere. He just can't have Micah, so he's settling for Chelsea. I feel really bad for Chelsea because she seems to really want to be with Kwame. Why? I don't know, but she does. In episode 6, Chelsea shows Kwame her place, and there is a lot of pink.
Oh my gosh, there's so much pink in here.
So much pink in here.
I personally don't see Kwame living with all this pink, but he says he's okay with it. Kwame expresses a lot of concern about having to pick up and move to Chelsea's city and home, and now he will also have to live with all of this pink. We'll see. In episode 7, Chelsea introduces Kwame to her father, and they both were super nervous. Chelsea says she didn't tell her family all the details of what was going on. Chelsea's nervousness seems to make Kwame nervous, and I definitely think from observing the interaction between Kwame and Chelsea prior to her father showing up, that Kwame was probably worried about if her father would have a problem with the fact that he was black.
It's very normal for any and all of our parents to have some type of reaction.
Yeah. I feel like your anxiety is becoming my anxiety, you know? Like, I want to be very,
Welcome to
let
marriage.
it happen.
His name is Charlie.
Oh, cool. Charles.
Charlie. Goes by Charlie.
Okay. It's my dad's name, too.
I love me a good Kwame lecture.
Do you trust me that I'll do all right?
Luckily, her dad seemed to be on board with their getting married.
You guys, I'm so happy for you.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, thank you.
But I'm still not. On the flip side, Kwame tells his mother about the engagement, allegedly, because I questioned whether he was actually talking to anyone on this phone.
You know, I just think this first conversation's gotta be for me.
All right.
I appreciate your honesty as usual. It's a tough situation for a mom to walk into things like this. I don't disagree with you. I believe that I make the right choices for myself. And I believe I made the right choice for myself this time as well.
Anyway, she does not approve of this at all, according to Kwame. I really hope both Chelsea and Kwame, aka Alex, say no at the altar and end this charade and spare Chelsea a broken heart. But my prediction is that Chelsea would say yes and Kwame will say no, using the excuse that he doesn't want to move to Seattle and he doesn't have his mother's approval. So those were my thoughts about this season's couples and my prediction on what will happen at the altar. Tell me your thoughts and predictions down in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. Catch you all in the next video. Bye.